Hello, we will do an orthographic projection from this model during this tutorial. First, we need to start by choosing the front view. On this object, which you probably recognize as the base for the caster assembly that you guys have been building, we will visualize the front view, top view, and right hand side view. If you look at this object, the best way to choose it probably would be our front view will be looking at it this way. That'll be our front view. Our top view will be looking this way, this direction, and our right hand side view will be looking at it this way. Notice the dimensions. The length of this one is 5.25 from this corner to this corner. From here to here is 3.25, so the depth of this object will be 3.25. The height of this face is 0.625, and the width of this one is 0.75. And the width of these ones will be 1.5. And with that information, we can go over and start doing our orthographic projection from this model. First, we will draw our bounding rectangles using a construction line. We'll start with a vertical line. We follow it by a horizontal line. Now we have a vertical line and a horizontal line. An intersection of those will be the corner of our object. Now we know that the length of this front view would be 5.25. So in order to do that, we will call the command offset, and we will offset this line 5.25 inches to the right. That will give us the length of the part. Now we need to establish our height, which is 0.625, and we offset this line. If you notice, now we have our bounding rectangle right here. So this will be our face of our front view. Now we need a space between views for us to put our dimensioning or any other notes that might be necessary. And for this purpose, we'll choose a distance of 2 inches up, and we'll repeat it on the vertical. So now this area right here will be for our dimensioning or any notes that you want to put or information you want to give to the person constructing this part. Now we will focus on the depth of our part or height of this view, and that dimension will be 3.25, and we will offset this line over, and we will offset this line over. Because these two views share the same dimension, the depth, it will be depicted on the top view this direction right here. Now that we have our bounding rectangles, we can go ahead and start drawing our views. We'll go over to our object lines, and we'll start with the line. We know that there's a step right here. There's a step that starts at 0.125 up from this corner. So we're going to start that line at that dimension. So we're going to go from this point vertically 0.125, and then we're going to go horizontal 1.5, go vertical down 0.125. We're going to go horizontal a distance of 2.5, go vertical 0.125, and then over 2.25. Vertical 0.125 to the intersection. This dimension will be 1.75, downward 0.125, over 1.75, up to the intersection, and to the intersection. If you notice, this is our front view. Now we're going to focus on our top view. For this one, we'll use the rectangle tool because we know that the shape of that one is a rectangle. Now we need to transfer this information over. So we're going to go from this point all the way up, and we go from this point all the way up. Normally you can acquire the point and then go up to the intersection, and you'll be able to draw the line. For explanation purposes and to show the relationship between the views, I will use this method. So now we need to transfer this one up there, but this one will be a hidden line. So we go on our hidden layer, we go from here to here, and we go from here to here. Now we know that we transferred these features to that point. Now we're going to use our trim command, use this as our trimmer, select these lines, and there it is. Now we have our top view with the exception of the fillets. So we're going to go fillets, we're going to go radius of 0.5, we're going to choose the polyline feature on it, and we select this one, and there it is. We have our fillets. Now we need to draw our circles, and those circles will be viewed as object lines. So we're going to go diameter, and this one is going to have a value, diameter of 0.375. And we're going to repeat it along these by using the spacebar to terminate the command and spacebar to accept it again. So we have our features that are our holes. Now we need to transfer that information this way and this way. So we're going to go to our hidden line, and we're going to go line. And we can snap from the quadrant to this intersection, and snap from this quadrant to this intersection, and do the same thing on this one right there. Now we can clean them. Use the trim command. We're going to use this one as a trimmer and that one as a trimmer. Accept it. We select this one, select that one. So now we have our information from this view transferred to this one. Now we're going to focus on our drawing over here. And for this one, we're going to use a miter line. So we're going to go to our construction line. Use the miter line that goes from this point to this point. And this line will give us the information that's going to go on this surface right here. So now we can go over and start drawing our side view. We're going to object line, and we know that our object line is going to be something similar to that. So the shape of our right hand side view is like that. So now we need to transfer all that information over, and then just for explanation purposes, I'm going to use it on the construction layer. We're going to use the lines from here to the intersection and then come down to that. The same thing for the next one, from here to the intersection. This one, go line, intersection, there it is. Now to the perpendicular right there. Quadrant, intersection, come back this way. Repeat it right here and bring it down. I'm going to go straight and then draw another one to this. That way there's no problems or questions about getting exactly the same one. So now, as you can tell, now all that information is being transferred to this side. Now we're going to go and put our hidden lines, because that's what we need to finalize this object. So we have this hidden line right here. Now this feature right here gets transferred as a hidden line also. So we can come over here to the end, acquire that point, and draw our hidden line this way. Now this one becomes an object line because we see that face right there. So we go to our object line, go from this point right there, and come back to the other side. And if you notice now, all the information is done, everything is there, but it looks a little bit kind of messy with all this information, but it's really easy to go over and turn your construction layer off, and this is how our object will be viewed. There's a little issue right here. This lines will have to stop right there. And the same thing with this one, because those holes stop at the surface right here, and where I had it ended up right here. So now we can just accept it like that. So if you notice, the front view has a direct relationship to the top view, and the front view has a direct relationship to the right hand side view. And the way that we did it was with our construction layers. You can see that everything has a direct relationship from one view to the other. The front view relates to the top view in an orthographic manner, as straight angles from one another. And the right hand side view does the same thing with this one. And this is what is orthographic projection all about. And it's very simple, very easy to obtain if you can visualize from a 3D model like this one. If you can visualize the front view, top view, and right hand side view, then you can transfer that information on a 2D plane for somebody to actually be able to build this part or manufacture this part. Now the next part that you need is putting dimensions right here, which will be shown to you later on another demonstration. Thank you very much.